I was at the dentist getting a piece of road removed from my mouth, because last week I was on a leisurely walk when I saw a piece of chocolate on the ground, and I was like, oh, a dog could eat that and get sick, and also free chocolate. So I popped it in my mouth, no questions asked, only to discover that it wasn't chocolate, but was in fact tar from a road that they were paving. So anyways, they were taking it out when I saw something weird on the TV screen. It was like hypnotism or something. I could barely stay awake. Next thing I knew, I was frolicking through a field of flowers while Gummy Bear played in the disc. All of a sudden, I woke up in the middle of nowhere and my mouth felt really funny. I opened up my mouth to see that they had stolen all of my teeth. I fell to the ground and cried as I realized I'll never be able to eat tortilla chips or smile ever again. In that very moment of despair, a meteor landed right in front of me, sending chunks flying. Out of curiosity, I picked one up and it sent me back in time to 5 seconds before. So I picked up a piece of time travel rock, popped in my mouth, and next thing I knew, when I woke up this morning, I decided to turn myself into a cake because I freaking feel like it. It's a free country and you should be able to drive over to Michael's and buy $50 worth of cake supplies and put it all in your face even though it's not skin friendly if that's what you want. Anyways, I tore open my bag and realized I need the bag to make a ball cap. So I pulled it back and tied it, and then I realized how busted I would look if I was bald, and then I grabbed my icing and put it on my face only to realize it's not icing but tempera paint that is not skin friendly. And it started to burn, so I put the sprinkles on and then candles in my nose, but then they were falling out, so I put some in my ears as well and they looked like Shrek. And finally, the cake look was complete. But at that point, my skin felt like lava, so I ripped my cake forehead off and I ran into the shower, and we're out of time, I'm so sorry. But if you want to see the aftermath and the rash I got, the link to the YouTube video is in my bio. I was shooting tapioca balls for my boba tea at strangers on the street when I saw a weird light flash out of the corner of my eye. And I'm in an Airbnb and I always hear about them having secret cameras to spy on people. So I started getting anxious and I looked around to try and find the camera, and I peeked in the toaster oven and I saw the flash to my right. So I looked through some decorative grass thinking it could be in there, but all I found was a cute little mini red croc keychain. So I put it on my backpack because it's kind of cute. And that's when across the street in the parkade, I saw a flash go off and I realized it's the paparazzi. I can't go anywhere without them showing up. Hey, yo, Ben of the Week. Is it true that you have 0 friends and no one likes you and you smell like a waste processing facility? Anyways, the made-up situation in my head made me cry myself to sleep in the bathtub, and when I woke up, I went into the kitchen to grab some seaweed for breakfast. When I remember that my camera is my security camera to watch me while I'm locked up in the loony bin, and I'm not in an Airbnb, I'm locked up. Hi, my name is Ben and I've lost my grasp on reality. I was writing a love letter to Zendaya when I got a paper cut and it hurt really bad. But I noticed nothing was coming out and I looked closer, and that's when I realized that I'm made of cake. Just like those videos online of random objects being made out of cake like Crocs and toilet paper. And then I started panicking and thinking, what if my dog is made out of cake? What if my house is made out of cake? Where's all this cake coming from? The baking aisle at the grocery store isn't nearly big enough to make it bake all this cake. What if all of reality is cake, and when we discover that we ourselves are cake, the overlords of the cakeverse, aka the bakers, collect us from the earth and prepare us for baking in their cake ship, and once we're baked to a crisp, they serve us to the other bakers. Hey, I haven't got much sleep, so I don't know what I just said. But anyways, I forgot to eat, so I went over to the grocery store to buy some muffins. And while I was looking at them, I wondered what the difference is between a muffin and a cupcake. Cake! Ah! I was chugging oat milk when I began to wonder, how do they milk an oat? Or how do they milk almonds? Or like, how do they milk cashews? Hey, that doesn't matter. I want to talk about something more important. Like, why are guinea pigs called guinea pigs when they're neither in the pig family or from Papua New Guinea? I bet that the first rodent to be called a pig felt so bad and probably cried. Anyways, both are kept in cages and that makes me sad. I really want to sword fight someone before I pass away, but like, I don't want to pass away sword fighting, you know? Like, imagine if whenever you had beef with someone, you just said YOLO and got on your horse and jousted at each other like a freaking knight. Anyways, they keep laying awake in the middle of the night thinking about how scientists have literally told us that the planet's dying, but like everyone in the world is like, I don't care, and keeps eating cows which fart so much that it created a hole in the ozone layer. So, you know what? We need to start canceling people for farting. I want to see TikTok room post people who get caught farting, and then everyone unstands them. So I'm asking you, viewer of this TikTok, to expose someone for farting right now. Thank you. I was digging straight down to go to China because I really wanted to try real Chinese food. And as I was digging with nothing but a spoon, I came across a shiny gem and I thought, maybe it's worth a lot. So I took my marble and I walked over to the pawn shop and they were like, we'll give you $5. And I was like, ew, no. But then as I was walking away, they gave me $72 trillion. And I was like, okay. So anyways, I bought an airport because it went out of business and was completely empty, and airports are fun to explore. And I made my own airline called Doo-Doo Air. And I always wanted to see what's inside those baggage carousels. So I put myself in luggage, zipped it up, and got sucked into the machine. But then I started suffocating, so I climbed out because I couldn't breathe. And then I remembered I have my own airline. So I got on board a flight to Madagascar. And I was enjoying it when I realized the engine was like falling apart. And then I saw a little bubble on the glass and I pushed it, and then the window started cracking and Today, my worst nightmare happened. So I bought this fun shirt which had this cute little accessory on it, which actually isn't a fun accessory. It's a big exploding ink security tag that they just forgot to take off of my $50 shirt. So anyways, now I'm panicking because I'm too nervous to go back into the store and ask them to take it off. So I tried pulling it off with my teeth, but I didn't want the ink to explode on my face, staining me permanently blue like a Smurf. So I looked online and apparently you need to freeze the tag to get it off. So I went to go throw it in the freezer, and for some reason there was raw chicken in the freezer, and this isn't my house, this is an Airbnb. And then I put the shirt in the freezer and waited all night, and I was getting impatient, so I decided to just pull it out and grab 2 forks, a pizza cutter, some tongs, and some spoons. And I took the forks and jammed it in the tag, and it was not working. And I got mad, so I whipped it against the ground, and then I stomped on it, and then I grabbed a chair, and I used that, and then I tried some spoons, and it still didn't work. So I laid down on the ground until I realized I could microwave it. So I put it in for almost 10 minutes, and it started smelling a little spicy. So I took it out and used the forks again, and I got it off! And we're out of time, but if you want to see me set it off, I'm gonna detonate it on my Instagram story. Ooh. I was flying to Zimbabwe because I'm sick of people and want to live in the forest. So I went to the airport and got my ticket, checked my bag, saw a plane with Elsa from Frozen in it, got some Starbucks, and then I went on board. I packed pretty light, just a whole lot of crackers. But as I was sitting there on the plane, I remembered I accidentally packed 500 cans of LaCroix soda. And you know what happens to soda cans when they're under pressure? They blow up! I thought it would be fine until the plane started rumbling and I heard some bangs and people started getting nervous. Then I looked outside and saw that the wing was on fire and I started freaking out. I looked out the window and saw we were really close to the mountain, so I called my dog Kobe and I told her I loved her, and I woke up in the middle of the forest. My head hurt really bad, but look, a can of LaCroix. After a long day of surviving a plane crash, I like to kick back and relax with a nice, refreshing LaCroix. Yeah. My legs have gotten so hairy that they look like a jungle in the middle of Madagascar, and there's little monkeys swinging from the hairs like they're trees. Anyways, I decided today I'm gonna wax them, because why not? Why can't I wax my legs if I want to? Why does toxic masculinity say the males can't wax their legs? Also, I want my legs to feel like 2 hot dog sausages so I can hop in bed and feel like I'm the wiener in a hot dog bun. Anyways, I went to the store and picked up some wax and Red Bull, and the cashier said something like, "I hope that's not for you, is it?" And I just stood there, and then I paid and I ran out of the store. And I got in my car and I drove home and I screamed out the anxiety. And then I sat down on my floor and began the process. I started feeling fear, because what if the wax strip gets permanently stuck and chemically fuses to my skin and they have to amputate my legs? But then I slapped myself and remembered, people wax their legs all the time. So I took the wax strips out, and apparently you're supposed to rub it between your hands. So I did that and it got really hot, so I put it on my leg, and we're out of time on TikTok. But if you want to see me in pain, the link to the YouTube video is in my bio. So I don't know if you saw, but Lil Nas X released these new Nike shoes that have a drop of real human blood in them. But I thought the colors were cute, so I ordered a pair of them. And while I was waiting around for them to arrive, I saw a lot of Karens were mad about it. And I was trying to figure out why, because having spare human blood on you at all times would be so helpful. Like if I was ever, I don't know, walking back from Taco Bell and a Toyota Prius smashes into me, and I'm lying on the ground like, dang, this is kinda awkward. Also, I'd probably be dying and need a blood transfusion. In that moment, I could just pop my shoe off and use my shoe blood and be completely fine. Then I could grab my food that I dropped from being hit by a car and find a nice bench to eat my taco on. Until I realize I'm currently on church property and I'm wearing my Lil Nas X Satan shoes and uh-oh. I was flying to Madagascar for a weekend full of partying. Wait a minute, do you think I'd risk the lives of everyone around me to go party? I'm just kidding, I'm actually taking a road trip to Gabby Hannah's house to unplug her internet and pour mayonnaise on her computer. I arrived at her house to find out that she lives in a shipping container. I thought, wow, she wasn't kidding when she said she's shadow banned. I knocked and then entered slowly, not knowing what I was gonna find. Just then I saw her internet modem and went to unplug it when she walked up to me on all 4 limbs and threw an onion at me. I said, "Stay back, Gabby Hannah," as she grunted at me like a caveman. But then I noticed she started to cry, and I realized I'd probably been the first person she's seen in ages. So I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe people are too harsh on her. I went outside and grabbed some flowers from the weeds. When I offered them, she snatched them out of my hand. Then out of nowhere, she sang, "Point the finger, pull the trigger, throw them up the trail." I I bought some tortilla chips from the store, but while I was eating them, I realized that the TIT in the Tostitos logo is two people sharing some chips and salsa. I thought, how cute is that, as I sat there with no friends to share my chips and salsa with. And no TIT either, because I am a boy. But that's when I realized, duh, I can just throw myself a chip and salsa party. People can come over and we can make salsa, but not using tomatoes, because they are disgusting. Instead, we'll make, what's a good thing to turn into salsa? Dirty sock. That's it! Dirty sock salsa! Because anything tastes better than tomatoes. Anyways, I still need people to come to my salsa party, because right now, there's no TIT. So I did what any sane person would do. I posted my address on the internet. Instantly, my doorbell was ringing non-stop. And that's when I realized I posted my address on comerobme.com. After looking at my video doorbell, I didn't want to give the creeps outside any of my belongings. And especially not my Animal Crossing amiibo. So I gave them the one thing I did not need. Salsa with tomatoes. Anyways, I may be having my salsa party alone now, but I still got my dirty sock salsa. So today was April Fool's, and I got a doorbell notification, which I thought was strange because I'm not expecting any packages. And when I checked it, I saw a box sitting outside my house. I was like, what the heck is a spaghetti? That sounds like the opposite of a, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I picked it up and brought it inside and realized it makes vegetable pasta. And I was so excited, so I opened it up, but there was no spaghetti. There was just my hair. And I started panicking because I was like, how did they get my human hair? And that's when I realized that a month ago, I cut my own hair and put it online as a real Michael Jackson wig and sold it to someone for $5,000. But they probably got my address from the return address on the package. Anyways, I looked in the hair and found a note saying I need to lock my door because... Hi there, you're probably not gonna believe me, but you're watching the first ever TikTok that's longer than a minute. And if you don't believe me, well, here is a timer, and I will give you a participation medal at the end. Okay, let's begin. But in the meantime, here's some monkey facts to keep you entertained. Okay, monkeys can understand written numbers and can even count. They can also understand basic parts of arithmetic and even, in rare cases, multiplication. Okay, next, Uncle Fat is a morbidly obese monkey in Thailand who gorged himself on junk food and soda that tourists had left behind. As the leader of this troop, the gluttonous monkey had subordinate monkeys bringing him goodies? Nah, there's no way this is real. What? He looked exhausted. Obese monkey Uncle Fatty, who became a star after being sent to fat camp, is missing in fear dead after falling off the wagon. What did I just stumble across? Oh my god. Okay, I've decided to take the rest of the time for this TikTok to do a documentary on Uncle Fatty, so... The Disappearance of Uncle Fatty, a Ben of the Week original. July 8th, 2019. The Sun reports the long-tailed macaque. Macaque. The long-tailed macaque, who ballooned to the size of 2 monkeys, was sent to a weight loss camp in 2017, but went back to his old ways once home in Bangkok, Thailand. Bangkok. Macaque. Uncle Fatty piled on the weight over his many years after being fed high-calorie food by tourists visiting the Kun Kala monument. Environmentalists monitoring his progress after weight loss camp say the last time he was seen alive was on February 26. Locals asked the police to check the CCTV footage, but have still been unable to identify the body. It is now feared that Uncle Fatty has either become lost, relocated to a new area, or even been killed. The chunky monkey's body has not been found. However, with local legends saying the forest reclaims bodies of the monkeys after they die. Aw. Kavinafat Mongol Tekachat, the president of the We Love Monkey Club. No! How is this real? President of the We Love Monkey Club said our staff always saw him sitting in the front of the monument every time they came to feed the pack, but one day he was just gone. Pause. What is the We Love Monkey Club? Documentary over. We Love Monkey Club. Oh, it literally doesn't. There's no We Love Monkey Club. Okay, but what is this video? Who loves pizza? Let's go to the pizzeria. Yeah. Mamma mia, I love pizza. As you sit here with 20 seconds left on the TikTok clock, did you think this is where this TikTok was gonna go? Did you think you were gonna watch a documentary about a fat monkey in Bangkok, Thailand, and then watch me dance to a song by Cheeky Monkey Club? No. But here we are, and here's your medal. I'm proud of you. Welcome to the family. Oh my god. What the hell? I I squeezed a whole bottle of lotion on my hands because they were as dry as my cat's ashes. And also, I wanted my hands to be soft for the date that I was going on today. I was late, so I ran upstairs, turned on the security system, and I was about to head out the door when I couldn't turn the knob. My hands were so lusciously moist from the moisturizer, they were just slipping and sliding off the knob. And I started freaking out because my security alarm would call the authorities if I didn't get out in 30 seconds. So I tried drying them off by rubbing them on my pants, but they still didn't have any grip. So I tried putting them in rice, and they were still too slippery. And then I looked at the security system, and I had just 3 seconds left, so I fell to the ground crying, not knowing what to do. Until I remembered the driest thing in my house. My cat's ashes. I grabbed the urn and covered my hands in the dust, and I headed for the doorknob, and luckily it worked. I turned it, opened it, and...
Yo.